Thick as a brick is basically talking about an individual, the things that can make that individual great, the things that could trip him up, and all of the so-called bits and pieces of wisdom coming from wise sources and also stupid sources. And those stupid sources would be thick as a brick. This is how you do a concept album, man. Not only are you telling a story, but you are basically expanding it, talking about all of the different things that contribute to it. Let me tell you, not everyone can do a great concept album and give you this expanded overview of things. This is going right into the brain of Ian Anderson, man, and he is giving you an idea of what it's like to be him, what it's like to create, how he goes about thinking about things. You take one grain of focus, being that young man, and then you're infusing all of these other elements and expanding and bringing him into adulthood. Damn. This was the shit. I put this concept album up there, rubbing shoulders with that of Tommy, rubbing shoulders with that of Quadrophenia, Abigail, all of these great concept albums so far that I've heard, and many more that hopefully exist that I've yet to get to, but for different reasons. I mean, when you're talking about The Who, for example, they've got a different way about telling the story. They've got also their harmonizing and everything like that makes it quite interesting. They've got the repetitive triple drumming of Keith Moon, so there's different elements comparing, let's say, this to what The Who does. But where it comes to quality and where it comes to greatness, shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, maybe The Who might have a little bit more of a commercial pop appeal. But this, though, you would go back to this shit and you would listen again and again and again and again, picking up a lot of things that you've missed along the way. It's just as charming, just as intriguing. And on a level of great creativity, like I talked about, you've got the Led Zeppelins, you've got the Pink Floyds, you've got Queen. Man, they would give a great concept album. So let me tell you, if I was King Wayne, right, and I had the ability to have control over these great rock artists, I would say, okay, I want a concept album from every single one of you and make it a double. You know what I mean? That's what I would do if I was King Wayne. All right, man. So this is the end of side 2. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back for the review. See you in a sec. Okay, y'all. Let's do a review, man, of this excellent concept album of this fantastic rock and roll band, Jethro Tull. So, Thick as a Brick. Thick as a Brick is the 5th studio album by British rock band Jethro Tull, released in March of '72. The album contains a continuous piece of music, split over 2 sides of an LP record, and is a parody of the concept album genre. The original packaging, designed like a newspaper, claims the album to be a musical adaptation of an epic poem by fictional 8-year-old genius Gerald Bostock, though the lyrics were actually written by the band's frontman, Ian Anderson. Genius. The album was recorded in late '71, featuring music composed by Anderson and arranged with the contribution of all band members. The album was the first to include drummer Barrymore Barlow, replacing the band's previous drummer, Clive Bunker. The live show promoting the album included the playing of the full suite with various comic interludes. Thick as a Brick is considered by critics to be the first Jethro Tull release to entirely consist of progressive rock music. Wow. It received mixed reviews upon its release, but was a commercial success. It received mixed reviews, but was a commercial success and topped various charts in '72. Today, it's regarded as a classic of progressive rock and has received several accolades. Anderson produced a follow-up to the album in 2012, focusing on the adult life of the fictional Gerald Bostock. Okay. That'd be interesting. I gotta look into that. Okay, background. Jethro Tull's frontman and songwriter Ian Anderson was surprised when critics called the band's previous album, Aqualung, a concept album. He rejected this, thinking it was simply a collection of songs. So in response, he decided to come up with something that really is the mother of all concept albums. Taking the surreal English humor of Monty Python as an influence, he began to write a piece that would combine complex music with a sense of humor, with the idea it would poke light-hearted fun at the band, the audience, and the music critics. Music critics, yeah, man. Write a concept album just on that alone. I would love to contribute some of my views to that concept album. Alright, he also intended to satirize the progressive rock genre that was popular at the time. His wife Jenny was also an inspiration, whom he credited to have devised the character and lyrics to Aqualung. She had written a letter to Anderson while he was away touring the album, 10 lines from which Anderson used as inspiration for the new material. Anderson has also said that the album was a spoof to the albums of Yes and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, much like what the movie Airplane had been to Airport, and later remarked that it was a bit of a satire about the whole concept of grand rock-based concept albums. Although Anderson wrote all the music and lyrics, he co-credited the writing to a fictional schoolboy named Gerald Bostock. The humor was supple enough that some fans believed that Bostock was real. Receiving the 40th anniversary reissue, Noel Murray suggested that many listeners of the original album missed the joke. Are you one of those listeners? Let me know if you are. When this first came out, for the longest time, or for how long were you thinking that Gerald Bostock was real? He was somebody who was real that was credited. Let me know about that. Musical style. Thick as a Brick was viewed by some critics as Jethro Tull's first progressive rock album. The album has a wide variety of musical themes, time signature changes, and tempo shifts, all of which were features of the progressive rock scene. Fantastic, I loved it all. Although the finished album runs as one continuous piece, it's made up of a medley of individual songs that run into each other, none of which individually last more than 3 to 5 minutes. Parts of the suite blend classical and folk music into the typical rock music framework. The album prominently features flute, acoustic and electric guitars, and Hammond organ, which had been used previously, but the instrumentation includes a harpsichord, xylophone, timpani, violin, lute, trumpet, saxophone, and a string section, all uncommon in the band's earlier blues-inspired rock. Okay, I'm gonna have to Google what a harpsichord is, a timpani is, and a lute. Okay. Anderson later said that the lyrics were partly derived from his own childhood experiences, though the overall theme was Bostock's attempt to make sense of life from his point of view. That's what I got. Excellent. Critical reception. Oh, Yo, man, I can't read all of this shit. This is a lot of, man, critics got a lot to say. Holy. Okay, I'll just read some. Okay, some contemporaries and then some retrospective. Critical reception. Contemporary reviews were mixed. Chris Welsh of Melody Maker praised the musicianship of the band and Anderson's flute playing, writing also that the joke at the expense of a local newspaper wears thin rather rapidly, but should not detract from the obvious amount of thought and work that has gone into the production of Thick. He described the music as a creative effort where the ideas flow in superabundance, but that needs time to absorb, and heard out of context of their highly visual stage act does not have such immediate appeal. Unquote. In other words, it took him a while to piece it all together. Tony Tyler, in his review for New Musical Express, generally appreciated the construction of the suites and arrangements, but he had doubts about the album's possible success. He called Thick as a Brick Jethro Tull's own stand or fall epic after the lines of Tommy, and an assault on the mediocrity and harshness of lower middle class existence in 70s Britain. Unquote. Well, to put it to you straight, Tony, you were wrong. It was a commercial success. Ben Gerson in Rolling Stone magazine called Thick as a Brick one of rock's most sophisticated and groundbreaking products. Going further, the reviewer stated, quote, Martin Berry's guitar and John Evans' keyboards especially shine, and Ian's singing is no longer abrasive. I don't remember a time where I ever found his singing abrasive. What's he talking about? Is he talking about a specific album? A certain period of time when they were first starting out and formulating their sound? What's he talking about here? Whether or not Thick as a Brick is an isolated experiment, it's nice to know that someone in rock has ambitions beyond the 4 or 5 minute conventional track and has the intelligence to carry out his intentions in all their intricacy with considerable grace. Oh my goodness. My words, exactly. Don't tell me that this is Rolling Stone. Oh shit. Don't tell me that I gotta agree with these motherfuckers. Yeah, it's Ben Gerson of Rolling Stone. Okay, I bite my tongue. Alright, Rolling Stone, I agree with your ass. Yo. Oh well. Leopards can't change their spots. Retrospective reviews have been positive. AllMusic wrote that Jethro Tull's first LP length epic is a masterpiece in the annals of progressive rock and one of the few works of its kind that still holds up decades later. Jordan Bloom of Pop Matters thinks that the album paved the way for modern progressive rock, and today it represents not only a pinnacle achievement for Jethro Tull, but also a concrete example of just how adventurous and free artists used to be. Yeah, man. Alright. That was excellent. Good reviews there. AllMusic and Jordan Bloom, Pop Matters. Record Collector's reviewer writes that today, free from the irrelevant context of misdiagnosed and derision that dogged it on its original release, the album sounds like nothing less than an Olympian feat of composition and musicianship. An Olympic feat. Alright. According to modern drummer reviewer Adam Badowski, that it remains so elevated in progressive rock fans' hearts and minds 40 years later, it's a testament to its quality. Excellent. So it goes to show, you come out with something new, you might not get it right away, and that's fine. You go back a couple of times and you listen, let it grow on you, and then, you form that appreciation. So it isn't always an immediate gratification thing. And, so a number of these guys here were very wise about that. So I'm giving reviewers their critics their props here. In 2014, Progressive Magazine listed Thick as a Brick at number 5 in the list of the 100 greatest progressive albums of all time. Number 5. Voted by its readers. Sorry, I'm still drunk. I'm still coming down from my sugarcane fix. Rolling Stone listed the album at number 7 in their top 50 progressive albums of all time. Thick as a Brick is ranked number 3 in the user-managed website Progressive Archive's top albums list, with an average rank of 4.64 stars out of 5. Rush's Geddy Lee has said Thick as a Brick is one of his favorite albums, as has Iron Maiden's Steve Harris. Both bassists in each respective band, among the best ever. Alright, man, so yo, that concludes our look at this excellent concept album from Jethro Tull, man. One of the best bands ever. They're definitely in my top 5 favorite rock bands, absolutely, man. And their work, to this date, I haven't encountered any body of Jethro Tull's work that I don't like. And yeah, man, they are definitely deserving of all the accolades. And as promised, I'm not going to mention the Hall of Fame. I'll just skip past that. But yeah, man, they are just really, really excellent. And is this their one and only concept album? Was it Ian saying, okay, you want a concept album? There you go. Now get off my back. But no, it did say that there's a follow-up released in 2012. Okay. Sorry, I answered my own question. Alright, man. So yeah, so this concludes our look at this great, great concept album, man. And anytime I do a reaction is a good day where Jethro Tull is concerned. So, what have I got coming up? I'm just looking at my notes here real quick. Brian is up. Antoine Maurice John. I know that Brian has a Ginger Baker documentary that I must check out, and I'm going to do that next. It's just a matter of creating time to do it. I'm getting really busy these days, so I'll be hitting that up soon. The Led Zeppelin factor. The next Led Zeppelin project will be Physical Graffiti. That's the double album, and that'll conclude my. Maybe it'll conclude my full album reactions. Let me know if you might want to see me do Coda as well, the quote-unquote unofficial Led Zeppelin album. I don't know, a lot of people don't feel that that is a part of the Led Zeppelin album line, so we'll see how that goes. And that's it. I'm continuing with this platform, doing a lot of rockumentaries. I'm in that stage now. Some live stuff, especially where Led Zeppelin is concerned, and also doing a couple of different things, like the album format is nice. I like more so the complimentary quad format because I get a chance to stop and take a look at every single song. I like to dissect songs like that, Every single song has a unique story to tell. Sometimes it's not recorded and shared, but that's okay. I usually prefer the format of complimentary quads for that. But, albums are great as well because it does give you a very, very good overall picture of the environment and the atmosphere. So there's value in doing album reactions. My favorite definitely is doing complimentary quads, but there's value in doing album reactions such as this, where it comes to a concept album format, it's got to be done like that. You can't really give it the complimentary quad treatment for song. It's not practical. All right. So that's it, y'all. That is my reaction and my review to this excellent album. Have yourselves a good one. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.